So Guild made a Bob Marley guitar that's really cheap, and Bob Marley was a genius, Jamaican, I believe, uh, Rastafarian. So they say that, I met a lot of those people in my time. all that. I really regret buying this guitar.
Guitar Stuff with John.
Welcome to another Guitar Stuff with John. So, today I'm going to review a guitar that I bought from full retail from Red One Music in Quebec. My good buddies, thank you. Tremendously good store. You can mail order just about anything from those guys, and they're so nice. So big shout out to Red One Music. So yeah, I bought this guitar because I saw other reviewers play it, and I'm a big fan of this company. Although I hate to say this, but I can't help it. It's been well over a decade since I played one that I would buy. I don't know what's going on with this company, but they don't seem to be putting out what they are capable of putting out. So anyhow, I saw this guitar and I thought I gotta have it. And the guitar that I'm speaking of is the Guild Bob Marley commemorative A20. It is a open pore finish mahogany dreadnought. I'm not sure if it's solid or not. It doesn't really matter at this point. It's got it is a copy of Marley's original Madeira that he wrote all his songs on with the old style Guild logo. It's got Bob Marley there on the pickguard, which is cool, and it's got Marley inlaid at the 12th fret, which is also cool. And you can tell that this guitar is like so poorly made. I can't help it. It just is. It's only $500, but I've shown $500 guitars on here that make this look sick. So I've tried to give it a chance. It's been in the studio now for quite a while, and it doesn't sound bad. It's a good sounding guitar, I think. It's not a barn burner, but it does sound good, and it's very mahogany-y. So it does sound like a mahogany instrument, and but it has some issues, and I'm going to talk about them briefly. And but overall, if you want this guitar for the purposes of celebrating Mr. Marley's life, it's a pretty cool piece, right? It is, and his guitar was also a cheap factory-made version, right? Guild was building Madeira guitars, I think, in Asia in the 60s and 70s. And they were a beginner's guitar. They were just a plain Jane, just like this. This is what he played. This is what he wrote most of his songs on. So I'm going to play it for you, and you just tell me. But I'm going to probably run into one of the major problems I have with this instrument while I'm playing it for you. So anyhow, here's the Guild A20 Bob Marley. Problem number one. This is the hardest guitar to tune I have ever seen. It's a nightmare. It won't temper properly, and the intonation on it is terrible. It's just not good. I actually struggled with this guitar for 10 minutes before I turned the camera on, just to get it playable. It seems like when you get one string good, the other 5 go out. God. It's bizarre. Like, I can't keep it in tune. It just won't stay in tune. Maybe it's just not settled yet. I don't know. Like I said, it's been in my studio for months, at least 3 or 4 months. Overall, though, it sounds really good. Sonically, it really is pleasant. It's a good sounding guitar. It's not tunable. You can't tune it. I'm not sure why that is, but I cannot tune this guitar, and I can tune every guitar in this room in seconds. I don't even need a tuner. I've got perfect pitch. You can't tune this guitar. So that right away, just like, well, it might be okay. I will be selling this to somebody for, a discount, because it's a nice piece. But it may be for somebody that just, sticks a tuner on it and prays and goes, right? Like, that's sort of where it's at. So anyhow, let's take a closer look at it. It's well built. It's not poorly built by any means, but it definitely has something. There's some issue with it. It sounds good. It looks cool, but there's something, and I don't know what it is. But anyhow, let's take a close look at it. So here we are with the Guild A20 Bob Marley commemorative. And we start at this big pedal. Don't mind all the dust. She's been sitting in here and being used. This big paddle style headboard, or peg head, sorry. Jesus. So the first thing that I noticed about this thing was that the spindles, to me, seem exceptionally high. I don't know why that is. It's kind of freaking me out. Anyhow, the machine heads, I think those are supposed to be, they're branded Guild. But these machine heads, a QC Pass O2, better think again. These are not good machine heads. They're loose and they seem to slip. I seem to be having problems. It could be the reason I'm having tuning problems. We see that the neck is actually in 3 pieces. There's the dividing line right there. So the headstock is glued onto the end of the neck. And down here at the bottom, it's there as well as a seam. So the neck is not, it's attached to the body, but it's in 3 pieces. There's the heel, there's the lower neck seam, and there's the upper neck seam. Just right here, you can see it right there. Anyhow, the neck is nice. The neck has a good profile. It's very smooth and easy to play. That's most likely plastic. I can't see it being bone, or maybe it is my card. I don't know. And it has a rosewood type fretboard, and there's a nice Marley inlay. That's very nicely done. The frets and the neck are excellent done, well done. And then we go down to the body, and we see this kind of a satin open pore finish. Nice wide grain on this, probably a spruce top or something like that. There's the Marley signature. And then we have our rosewood or ebony style, probably rosewood style bridge. That looks like looks like all plastic. It's just got a simple 3-line purfling. And there's our inside sticker. Designed in California and built in, I believe, China or Indonesia, one or the other. And then we look at the back, and you see a very nice open pore mahogany. I'm not sure that this is solid. It could be. I said earlier, it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't, because, you know, the guitar has some structural sonic problems that kind of negate the quality of the box. And as I said, this may come around over time. I don't know. The neck is sound. The joint is good. Joint is good here. Yeah. No pickup in it. Comes with a strap button. And there you go. It's a very basic, plain Jane copy of Mr. Marley's guitar. And as I said earlier, it does have some tuning and intonation issues. Maybe it just needs a setup. I don't know. But that kind of a setup is expensive. Because it could require new saddle, new nut, neck dress, whatever. But not something I'm going to invest in for a guitar that only costs $500 or $600. But that's it. That's the Guild Bob Marley. There's the M on the truss cover there. Pretty cool. And yeah. So this is the bag that comes with the A20. Now, there's a little bit of a problem with this bag. It's not much of a bag. It has roughly a 1/4 inch of padding in it. So you would not want to carry this thing, you know, anywhere high stress. It's basically just a cloth bag, which is also, well, you get what you pay for, right? So, yeah, there it is. Anyhow, there you go. So there's your Guild A20 Bob Marley commemorative guitar. I wish I could say something better about it. Like I said, it does sound good. It's a nice sounding guitar. I don't know, there's something really weird. It seems like as you're playing it, it goes out of tune. It doesn't, I guess I'm just being incredibly picky. It's because I'm so used to instruments that temper properly. And like you can tell from this, like that sounds slightly sharp. That one's good. That's good. That's flat. That's flat. So I've noticed that because I have to crank this E sharp to get the G note in tune. I don't know. It's something, you never know. It could be one of those guitars, and I'm going to give it a chance. It could be one of those guitars that just takes time to sort of settle into itself, because it is a factory-made guitar out of the cheapest materials that you're going to find, right? And see that right there makes the E out of tune again. Anyhow, it is a struggle, my friend, to tune this for my ear. If for a straight rhythm player who's just banging out chords, it's a beautiful guitar. It does sound and plays very nicely. So anyhow, there is the A20 Guild Bob Marley commemorative. Guild, I'm sorry. Send me something. Send me something I can review and be proud of. Send me a D55 or something like that. Like, Guild is one of the best guitar companies ever. They've been building great instruments for decades, and I don't want anybody to think Guild this is a fair representation of Guild, because it's not. I think they're still a great company, and I just think that this is a very cheap guitar, and that's how a cheap guitar works. When it's truly inexpensive and inexpensively made, you're gonna have issues. So anyhow, love you guys. Still love you, Guild. Sorry, boys, had to tell the truth. I wanted to review it because everybody else is, and I just wanted to. There you go. That's it. So, love you. See you next time. Next video, we'll have a guitar I can tune. All right. Not too bad. Close. But close only counts in horseshoes and poorly tuned guitars.